every door in the house got kicked in at one time. SWAT's coming in. I'm like the movies. You know what I mean? Like coming in through the windows and
Oh, my
you know what I mean?
gosh.
And they are locked and loaded, hands on guns, guns drawn, pointing them in the guys' faces. All right, guys, really quickly, before we dive into today's podcast, I want to give a special thank you to the hundreds of you viewers and listeners who entered the big $500 Carl's giveaway. It's amazing that so many of you guys participated. We want to give a big special thank you to you guys.
And the winner of that will be announced very soon. We're going to get you on the podcast, have a good time, and you're going to get some spending money.
Yep.
So, with that said, into today's pod.
These chairs suck.
All right.
I'm wobbling. Oh, shoot, I came off. Oh.
And that's how you're starting today.
Welcome back. I just exploded my freaking stool right here.
It is... I know a lot of you probably want to see what's going on behind the scenes. I'll show you.
I just literally exploded my stool here. I was just making some adjustments, and it has this screw-on feature that can also come unscrewed. And I just exploded myself. So you visual viewers are getting the full effect. You audio listeners, I apologize. But I guess I'll do this first segment standing, Badge. What do you think about that?
I think you deserve it now.
Oh, my God. Welcome back to another episode of Fishing After Dark with the Beard and the Badge, folks. And we are back in studio. We missed a week last week. We deeply apologize for that.
So sorry.
Yeah. What even happened?
I don't...
Just life happened.
Yeah, I would like to say that.
Traveling. We've been all over the place. We've been on Jigging with Jordan's new pod with Tristan, Yappy. What's it called? The Banger podcast? Or is it Banger Bros?
It's Banger Podcast.
Why did we think it was Banger Bros?
I think if you're on there, they call it like
You're a Banger Bro? Like an honorary Banger Bro?
Right.
Yeah, so we went down there, traveled down to Orlando or wherever the hell we were. We were in the middle of Florida.
Yeah.
I just blew Jiggins' location wide
Yeah.
Orlando.
If you're ever in pull up, bleep that.
Yeah. If you're ever down that region, just go pull right up. He loves it when people comes up in his yard and just starts talking to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been running around, guys. Badge has got houseboat stuff. You guys already know that. This man is up to his elbows in a houseboat project that would crush your average man's spirit, but not Badge's.
Yeah.
You're invigorated.
My ancestral spirits are pouring through me.
Yeah. And we actually got to spend the morning today on a little pheasant hunt. If you guys don't know what that is, would you like to describe to them what's the kind of the deal with the pheasant hunt?
So it's quite possibly the most redneck thing I've ever been associated with.
In a good way.
One of the most fun things I've ever done as well, with a shotgun in my hands.
Yeah.
So basically, if you can picture almost similar to a dartboard, you got to circle different sections, hay bales around the circumference of the circle.
Oh.
In the center, you have a little room.
Shack. A big shack.
No roof.
Yeah.
And there's pheasants that just...
And there's dudes in the room holding the pheasants, and they're
Right.
throwing them up in the air out of the room.
Right. And then they fly towards one section or the other, and whoever's in that section...
Yeah.
Go
That's the
ahead.
thing. You're in the middle of a field, so there's hay bales all around. There's literally a circle, so the pheasants have nowhere to... Anywhere they fly, there's people ready to shoot. It's kind of messed up, but incredibly fun at the same time.
Insanely fun.
Because that bird had no idea what was coming.
No.
But in a way, it's probably a good thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know the deal. I don't know what like, I know it's legal to do, and we were within the law. It was great. It was down in Florida, but it was really cool, though.
Yeah, I had a good
It was
time.
fun. Yeah, we all shot birds. It was cool. Let us know if you've ever had a similar experience on a pheasant hunt. It's pretty crazy. Beautiful bird, but too bad we had to blast them into oblivion. But we got some crazy stuff to talk about today. We're going to give you guys some random thoughts. This is going to be one of those podcasts, kind of a bros-only thing is what we call this, is when we don't have a guest, and we really don't have a general direction of the podcast. I know that sounds like a bad thing, but oftentimes we found that the best content we make is just off the dome.
Yeah, there is a story, too, that's been burning down in the comments.
There's a crazy story involving the SWAT team in my house that I think I teased on one podcast, but we didn't get to that story. Yep. And we heard your guys' pleas in the comments section to revisit that story. So we're going to do that today. But first, we've actually got service out here now, Badge.
That's unique.
We've got Wi-Fi in the woods. Now,
Yeah,
I can't tell you guys how I got it because we may be scamming one of the big telephone companies by getting this Wi-Fi because we're not supposed to have it, but we just had to get creative.
We're
and figure out
paying
a way.
for it.
We
We're
are
paying.
paying. Yeah, correct. The scam is where it is.
Right.
We're not supposed to have it out here, but we are paying for it.
That's right.
That's all we can say. So, but now that we have service, I'm going to look up our podcast. That way I can get the three newest comments. If you guys didn't know, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you can leave us a 5-star review. We have over 750 now, Badge. We're knocking on the door of 1,000. This is all organic, too. This is not like, fake comments.
Right.
I mean, this is some good stuff. And if you guys have been listening, you know these comments are awesome. So, oh, my God, this is great. So we got Jay Fresta right here. The comment or the subject is love listening to this crap. That's a great way to describe it because it is crap at the end of the day, but I do think it has some value, some entertainment value.
Yeah.
And,
It's some well put together crap.
Yeah. So here we go. I recently came across AO's channel and got super into the boat restoration.
Sweet.
I'm probably speaking for a lot of people at this point. Now I'm subscribed to both your channels and the podcast channel. I don't fish. I don't like fishing. I don't even eat fish. But I watch this crap every day for some reason. Shout out to Jay Fresta.
Yeah, bro.
That's what I'm talking about. My
Thank
man
you.
doesn't even fish.
I got a lot of people that said that on my channel now.
Yeah? Well,
Yeah.
they're not into fishing. They
They're
just
like,
want to
hey,
see the
I
boat
don't even
stuff.
fish. I like the boat stuff.
Well, dude, we all know you tapped into something crazy when you started that houseboat project. Well, really with that first boat you did.
Yeah,
But
we shall see.
yeah, it's
where
really
it goes.
cool hearing that people that don't even fish still love it. So,
Right.
All right, now we got the great fisherman. The subject is best podcast ever. He said, hi, I watch your podcast all the time. Even when I go to sleep, I listen to it in class even. Keep it up. Man, these kids need to stop listening in class, dog. These kids are straight failing.
You guys just stop now.
Take it from 2 college dropouts. All right? If you keep going down this path, I don't know what's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
And finally, oh, man, here we go. We got green balls 24. Not blue balls, green balls.
Okay.
Not quite sure what the significance of that is. And the subject is chickens clapping AO's cheeks. Okay? And it says, love the pod. I listen to it all the time. I love you and AO and how y'all get along. So I'd like some clarification, Mr. Greenballs, about these chickens clapping AO's cheeks. Have you been in a fight with my chickens recently? Because why else would chickens be clapping your cheeks?
I don't know. I mean,
Some of these comments baffle me sometimes. I just try to think, what do they mean?
I feel like there's some clips to videos that we don't realize the significance of them.
Yeah.
Like some dude from New York might have seen your chicken claw me real quick.
just
and
run up your back.
And to us, that's just normal.
Just normal Tuesday.
Yeah.
My chicken's just attacking people.
I'm like, oh, get off me, Jim. Whatever.
Hey, honestly, I could read those comments all day, but unfortunately, we can only read 3. Yeah, that's a legal thing we can do. We completely forgot our video sponsor. We are complete pieces of garbage. But the podcast is always sponsored to you guys by Carl's, a.k.a. shopcarls.com. Let me ask you a question, Badge. What's your favorite lure to throw in the entire world? Just give it to me. Off the rip. Off the dome.
Oh, crap.
Quick.
Put me in a weird.
Quick.
Oh, stick bait.
Stick bait. Okay, so
No, top water. Top water.
Oh, shoot. There's so many baits. Okay, yeah, top water.
Popper.
Well, okay, popper. So
Walking bait.
like a blue. Oh, here we go.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, any of those things Badge just said, guess what? They are on sale right now at Carl's, shopcarls.com, because everything is always on sale there. If you're a Carl's Club member, you get 30% off almost anything in the store, it feels like. And they've got everything from rods and reels to line, lures, hooks. Every Guggen product is on Carl's. So we'll have we'll talk a little bit more about them later in the podcast, but definitely the internet's local tackle shop and a great place to get whatever you need for this fishing season. So I kind of buried that sponsorship. How far are we now? Oh, it says right error. That's good. Are we even recording right now?
Oh, dude.
Yoinks.
Don't pay attention to that.
Well, we're 9 minutes in, so if it's not recording, we've got a mega problem here. We should probably stop and reset
Yeah, let's
that.
stop
Let's
and
check. real quick.
Yeah, let's check.
Okay, technical issues have been resolved, we think. We actually don't know. What is it? It's not saying anything now. So when your audio equipment gives you an error symbol, that's always a problem. But I think we're good. I also fixed my stool. So
Nice. Congrats.
although I like standing up on this set.
Yeah, I do too. This table's massive.
I meant to build it 4 feet high, and somehow it got 5 feet high.
Yeah, which is
So.
still tall.
Probably why we dropped out of college. So not counting. But yeah, so where were we, buddy, by the way?
I have a story to tell you since I've seen you last.
Please do. It's actually been a while since we've seen each other.
Yeah, so my wife is very good friends with her boss.
Okay.
Who's a lady. And
why'd you say it like that?
I just didn't want people to think my wife was getting
really friends with the dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Little boss.
For real. Yeah.
Boss.
For sure.
To my wife. Anyways.
Yeah.
It's fine. So, does your wife ever tell you something and you kind of hear it, but it doesn't go all the way in?
You mean like you're listening, but you're not really absorbing the information as like paying attention?
Yeah.
Well, I think we all do that. I think if we're being honest, we probably all, and our wives do it to us too. I'm sure.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's just one of them things.
So she told me that she was going to surprise her boss. Her boss loves horses. They were going to go ride horses for a day for her birthday, like 2-hour horse, whatever. It was like big. It was a big deal for them because women don't really surprise like with big adventures a lot. So
Right. Okay.
yeah,
And riding horses is
my
dope,
wife
by the
doesn't.
way.
Whatever people say. Anyways, you get the point. I heard we're taking them horse riding for her birthday, and
Okay.
so I see them as they're meeting for lunch.
Oh no.
And I was like,
And you. Oh. Go
I was
ahead.
like, dang, you wearing jeans horseback riding? And she was like,
Because she had no idea what you were talking about.
yeah. And I turned,
And your wife was.
my
just-
wife and my mother-in-law too were both like,
Damn. So
That was
you blew the surprise.
yeah, they were pissed.
Wow. This kind of goes along with that conversation we were having a couple podcasts back that people really enjoyed about like what we do that pisses our wife off.
Oh, there's
So
one.
we'll probably add that one
Let's
to your
just
list.
start the
right
pod.
there. Dude, by the way, we're going to have the wives on here one day. Can we
One-
agree?
one day. It'll be a while.
Day.
It'll
It's
be a
gonna
while.
take some time.
3
It's not-
years.
It's not because we don't want to do it. It's because getting my wife, your wife, me, and you in the same place at the same time for an hour and a half or 2 hours, it's incredibly difficult to do.
Yeah.
I've got 3 kids. You guys live 2 hours away. You got your wife works. You got your own stuff going on. So it's
Yeah.
going to be incredibly difficult. However, we've seen y'all's pleas for it, and we will get it done.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
I feel like my wife would hate this with a passion.
Really?
She would be. There's 3 cameras,
There's so much.
lights, a set,
It's
audio.
intimidating.
She would.
Yeah.
She doesn't like when I have a camera on her, like
Yeah.
ever. With this, she would be like, nah.
Yeah. Yeah, it could intimidate any average person, let alone somebody who never has to look at a camera and talk for a living.
And
you know
who
what I mean?
like knowingly despises it. So
Right, just
anyways,
hates what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yep.
I got a funny story for you involving my wife and a camera too.
Okay.
I thought you were going to give me a weird look, but you didn't. So we came out of the gym the other day, right? I had gone to run some errands, and I was meeting her at the gym because we were going to have lunch, right? It's a
Okay.
Friday, didn't have anything going on. And so I met her at the gym. She's leaving the gym. Now, she is a sweaty mess, right? My wife's into bodybuilding, so not like the girls who are super, super jacked, but like the girls who are hot as hell, but they just happen to have like, abs and stuff.
Nice.
Just wanted to make that clarification. But she's super into that. So she just came from the gym covered in sweat. So we actually went to Ahi Poke to eat lunch, right? So
That's the spot.
she's still, gross in her mind. So we come out of Ahi Poke, one of our favorite places to eat, and there is a WTVY camera crew outside, right? And now they're setting up like a camera. They're kind of walking around their little, that the news vehicles always have like the wraps and stuff. So it's a news vehicle.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And then you got this giant camera on a tripod. So they're about to film something for the news, right? And Holly instinctually sees it and just like, oh man, we better hurry up and get in our cars before they try to talk to us. Because, my wife, the last thing she wants to do is be on camera, especially after the gym, right? I mean, that's just any woman in general, I think. Just generally speaking, you're just covered in sweat. Your clothes are gym clothes. They're not going out clothes. So we both kind of book it to our vehicles. I get in my truck first, close the door. I'm about to crank it. She's parked right next to me. She goes to dive in her Jeep, and all of a sudden I hear that lady go, "Hey, excuse me, ma'am." And she starts walking to Holly, and she's got her because Holly didn't close the door. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Sometimes you can get away with ignoring somebody, just like close the door and crank the truck, and they'll probably just be like, oh, they didn't hear me, But see, Holly's too nice, see? So she let that lady grab her attention, and next thing you know, I can hear her through the windshield because I'm in my truck now. I can hear the lady say, "Excuse me, man, we're doing a story about, blah, 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 businesses, and would you talk to us?" And Holly was just like, what? Excuse me, I can't hear you, trying to change the subject like it's going to help her. Anyway,
Yeah.
long story short, the lady was just very insistent, and Holly, she can't say no to people.
Yeah.
It's hard to say no to somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when they're being nice. So eventually she was like, oh, he might do it, pointing at me, because she knows I'm on camera all day. And I was just like, oh, you're going to get me like that? So I got out and I was just like, no, we'll both do it. So I grabbed Holly and she was just like, you son of a biscuit. And I walked her over there and we did it was on the news and everything. Everybody's been hitting me up like, oh, what's up? I didn't know you were, we were talking about local business. It was so dumb,
Yeah.
Like it had no relevance to our lives
local
at all.
business is so dumb.
Yeah, local business.
Yeah, look like terrible human
Well, I mean,
beings,
when you
dude.
walk out of a restaurant, you just ate lunch on a Friday, and we don't even live there, by the way. We don't live in that city anymore. So it's
Yeah.
like they're asking us about businesses in the city, and we're like, well, we don't even live here anymore. So I mean,
Yeah.
what do you want me to say? It was funny as hell, though. I got her to be on camera, and afterwards it was funny, but in the moment, like she was probably ticked at me for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So funny wife stories. We will get the wives on the podcast one day. I promise you guys. Hey, Badge.
So
What is your favorite lure to throw in springtime? If you could only pick one.
I'm a big blue jig guy.
You like those black and bluish kind of
I like something
football
dark.
head jig.
Yeah, I want
big
to see
jig
it. I
guy.
want to hit rocks. I want to make ruckus. I want to piss the fish off.
Yeah.
And I like something that I can see them bite. And I'm not a big, like, some people throw white.
Yeah.
No. I want to go dark.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
I like that.
What about you?
I am a big on that whole thing with spring fishing. I love a good crack and crawl, which you could easily put on that Trash Master jig. Another one is a clickbait. Nice pre-spawn reaction style lures.
Okay.
What if I told you, Badge, that all of these lures we just showed
No.
and hundreds of other ones
No.
are on sale right now?
No way.
ShopCarls.com. That's right.
Okay.
If you guys didn't know, almost everything on the website is on sale, especially if you're a Carl's Club member. I don't know if you guys know this, but Badge over here, big time Carl's Club guy.
Big
Yeah.
time.
You do all your shopping on Carl's Bait
Every
and Tackle.
single bit of it.
Yeah.
In
It's
all
crazy.
seriousness, I mean, I mean that.
Yeah, I know. I do too. I don't think people realize
Monthly.
how much stuff we get from Shop Carl's.
Stuff that doesn't even go in videos. Got
Yeah.
Davey Gravy a tackle box last week.
That's right. That's true.
Yeah.
So we would encourage you guys to visit the link in the description or just go to shopcarls.com and check it out if you don't believe me. I'm telling you guys, some things are up to 30% off year round if you're a
30.
Carl's Club member. So there's really no reason to do it. I believe when you sign up to be a Carl's Club member, it's a free trial for 30 days.
Okay.
It's an incredibly good offer. They have been the exclusive sponsor of this podcast for the last, 9 months. It's been great working with them, getting the awareness out there, letting you guys know that you don't have to spend a ton of money. And as usual, I believe it's the cheapest place to get Guggen baits on the internet. I'm pretty sure that is still the deal. I'd highly encourage you guys to go visit and join Badge as a Carl's Club premium member.
Join me.
Join us. Now back to the podcast.
Premium.
All right, man. So I think we've waited long enough to get
Yeah.
into this story. Do you remember when I made the whole SWAT team comment?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you
'Cause
remember?
It immediately hit me, and I was like, I'm not going to ask them because that's a podcast in itself.
It really is. And I mean, I'm going to try to tell this story as good as I can, but obviously I'm not going to mention places or people because there's some legal ramifications to this whole thing. So I'm going to be very careful how I tell it. Also, military people involved. So there's a lot going on here. But if you guys did not know, I was in the Army from 2006 to 2012. And this would have been 2009 or 10 or something like that. Pretty much right smack dab in the middle of my time.
All right.
After my first deployment, before my second deployment, so now we're in America, blah, blah, blah. And of course you have a lot of friends in the military. I mean, you're basically clicked up with 30 dudes at all times.
Right.
Your platoon, and you're tight with your platoon. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Those are the people you eat, drink, bleed, sweat with.
Yes.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? Everything. So I had these few friends in particular, and they're actually really good friends of mine. I love these guys. And I still, to this day, I mean, one of them actually got shot up in Afghanistan. He lived.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good. He's
I
good.
was like, the way you dropped that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't have said it like that if he
Yeah.
was killed. You know that.
I'm sorry.
But no, my buddy, he took a couple rounds. He came out, it hurt him, but he was good. He
Can
survived.
he walk? And
Yeah, he can walk. Yeah. A little bit of a limp, but
dang.
yeah, I
dude.
know. I don't mean I'm not laughing. If you knew him, he would laugh about it. But anyways, he's good. He's alive. He's good. He's going to be taken care of the rest of his life from the VA. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's good. He's Gucci. But that was one of the guys and a couple other my buddies. So, you know, in the military, you have the barracks, right? And a lot of guys live in the barracks. And it's just the cheapest place to live. You know what I mean? You don't have to pay any money to live there. You get to eat at the dining facility. You don't have to pay for that. You know, there's a lot of perks of living there, but most people don't want to live in the barracks because of many reasons. Like, I mean, who wants to live right there where you work? You know what I mean? It's like a couple hundred yards from where you work every day.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. You want to get off base. You know what I mean? So my buddy had this house off base. And most of the time when one guy buys a house, he'll have a couple roommates, you know what I mean? Whether it be his platoon mates or other Army dudes that he knows and help pay the bills and everything. So this was one of those situations. So not technically my house, but it was a house that I've stayed at sometimes and lived there a little bit. So now I've kind of set the scene a little bit here.
Okay.
Now, another thing about military guys you guys might not know, a lot of them have an affinity for weapons, obviously, because you're spending a lot of time holding a lot of different weapons that you could really never get your hands on in civilian world.
Right.
You know what I mean? A lot of fully automatic stuff, you know, explosive ordinances, stuff that you could just never get your hands on, right? Unless you go what is it called? Like the black market type route, you know, if you will. I don't even know if that's the real term for it, but the underground world, you know, the illegal world, you can get whatever you want. I mean, if you're willing to spend the money, you can get literally anything you want illegally. You could get a rocket launcher that mounts to the top of your truck as long as you got enough money, and you could get it. So we're not talking about rocket launchers, though. So at some point, one of my buddies, not going to say who, obviously, procured some fully automatic weapons. Okay, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know how he got them because that was something that I was just like, ooh, man, this is. I mean, it's cool that you have that, but man, I don't want to put my fingerprints on that thing. You know what I mean? Like because I know I come from a military background. My dad was in the military. He had a lot of guns, taught me a lot about guns. So a fully automatic weapon, if you don't have the right license, that's like 5 years prison time, dog. Like right off the rip, no questions asked. You know what I mean? Like a judge don't care who you are. If you don't have that's Fed time. You know what I mean? So this person, my buddy, had at least one, but he may have had multiple, you know, illegal. We're talking about like serial number filed off, full auto, like cartel stuff. You know what I mean? So he kept everything in that house that I spoke of.
Okay.
And this is a house I stayed the night at many times. A lot of us kind of lived there, going and coming. You know, you don't think anything about it. You see it one time, you're like, oh, that's cool. Some alarms go off in your head, but they put it away. You don't see it again for a couple months. You kind of forget about it. Well, one particular, I don't know if it was a day or like an evening. I think like it was kind of getting dark. It may have even been in the middle of the night because I was not there for this exact moment. I was there afterwards.
Okay.
So I got the story secondhand from my buddies who were inside the house when this happened. And this is exactly how they told the story to me. Every door in the house got kicked in at one time. SWAT's coming in. I'm like the movies. You know what I mean? Like coming in through the windows and shit.
Oh my
you know what I mean?
gosh.
And they're locked and loaded, hands on guns, guns drawn, pointing them in the guys' faces. And so they got my buddies down on the ground. Everybody's down. I mean, the house is cleared. You know, they're looking for something, right? They don't send a SWAT team to your house to come like serve a warrant. You know what I mean? Like they send a SWAT team to your house if you're a huge drug dealer or if you're like a violent criminal who's got outstanding, you know, warrants or whatever. They don't just send the SWAT team. You know what I mean? So after about 10, 20 minutes of having them all hemmed up, you know, on the ground, like no talking, you know, they're running through the house, ransacking everything, knocking stuff over. About 20 minutes in, the SWAT guys start leaving the house. They start going outside, all of them, except for one. One guy stayed in there. And he said something to the effect of this to my buddies. He said, "You motherfuckers are lucky." And he cut both of their zip cuffs off and they walked out of the house. So my buddies get up and they're just like, what the freak just happened? Okay. So the SWAT team came in. They obviously didn't find what they were looking for. And, we, you know, at this point, I don't think my buddies even knew what was going on. Okay. So what had happened was somebody had given an anonymous tip to the SWAT team that these guys had, weapons and, guns, explosives, drugs, whatever they said. I mean, who knows what, anonymous tip, you could say whatever you want, you know what I mean? And those SWAT team guys were looking for all this stuff. Now, here's where things start to get really kind of sketchy. And I have to be very careful what I say here. But apparently, before the SWAT team got there, and we're talking about maybe even hours before, somebody in our group got tipped off that the cops were going to come raid the house. So you got like some crazy intel getting like swapped around here. You can see how this starts to get. I'm getting like goosebumps and stuff. You start going down this road with military guys, and some of these guys are, plugged into some special forces guys who are freaking nuts. I mean, I love them, but they're nuts. And so somebody inside the police department was either close enough with my buddy or knew enough, tipped them off, so they got all the stuff out of there. They moved it. So when the SWAT team got there was nothing there, and they were pissed because that's what I'm saying. They don't just do this for nothing. They're going to look for stuff. They did not find anything. They left the house and never heard anything about it ever again. So I got there like right after this happened, and I got the story and everything. And there is some things I'm omitting, but I have to omit them. So it's just straight up, I can't tell the whole story, but that's the gist of it. And how intense is that, bro?
I don't know how to respond. Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. So, but the part.
Can you say what you said? Can all of that go in?
Yeah, I think so. I'll have to listen to it, but I think so. I mean, I'm not saying any names or anything, obviously. And
yeah, Norm.
Norm, you piece of garbage. Well, he was the one that dropped the dime on us, probably. He probably the one that tipped off the cops, that little bastard.
Yeah, that was probably. Yeah.
But the part, you're right. But the part that really got me was the fact that the cops got tipped off, right? Who did they get tipped off by? I don't know. And then my buddies got tipped off, had to have gotten tipped off from somebody inside the police department. So then you just start wondering, how deep does this go? Where did my buddies get those guns? They could have got them from a cop. You know what I mean? Like this isn't this like the whole story just starts to spiral, and it's just like, whoa.
I don't want this to entangle you in like a 10-year investigation.
No, man. Here's the thing, man. I mean, nothing was found. Those guys are still living normal lives out in the world. So I'm sure that all that was taken care of, and
Yeah, they turned over a new leaf.
Yeah, I'm sure that all those guys are good citizens now, following the law. I'm sure that was enough to scare anybody who wasn't about that life right out of that life.
Right.
You know what I mean? But one of the most intense situations I've ever seen that just makes me ask so many questions. Yeah. But I'll tell you the rest of the story off camera. You get the really good story.
Okay.
You're like, I don't know if I want to know.
I don't want to know, dude.
Well, it's
No,
that's not going to get anybody.
It's not. I think you're good. You didn't say names. You didn't say anything.
If there was no charges filed. There was no formal investigation that I know of. So there's really no record of any of this happening. That I know of. And like I said, I paid attention to it afterwards, and nothing ever came up. So I'm just assuming that maybe the SWAT team thought they got a bad tip, or maybe they knew that the items they were looking for should have been there, but they weren't. So maybe they were pissed because it's like, haha, we kind of outsmarted you guys. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of layers to the story that I can't get into.
How's the relationship between Army and police? When you were in the Army?
That's an interesting question, Badge.
What was that relationship like?
Well, see, there's two sets of police, right? Like you've got the military police, which are the MPs. You know what I mean? Okay. So that's like your police department on base.
Okay.
But then as soon as you leave the base, you've got civilian police, normal police. So they get along fine, like the local PD and then the military police. They get along fine. They cooperate with investigations that kind of go on and off the base. But now guys like me, infantry guys.
Right.
And, the whole Army thing, it's the military thing. If you're not infantry's like up here.
Right.
Everybody else is down here. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. If you were another job in the military, that's not me devaluing what you did, because I certainly didn't devalue anybody. I'm just saying, what I'm saying is true. The infantry dudes, those are those hard-edged MFers. You know what I mean? That's just, they're doing all the stuff. You know what I mean? Now, there's plenty of other dangerous jobs that are not infantry. You got combat medics, field artillery, mortarmen, truck drivers getting blown up all the time. Even mechanics, like just going on a convoy or something and getting blown up and attacked. I mean, it's not like you can't have a dangerous job. It's not infantry, but we all know
kicking doors in.
Infantry, everybody is support of infantry.
Yeah.
Every job in the military is in support of the infantry.
I don't think that's like bragging. Yeah,
no, I don't
just
think so
how
either.
it is.
I think the way I just explained it is, I never look down on anybody, but it's just the way it is.
You're not devaluing. You're just saying.
Right.
Right.
So the infantry guys and the military police, right, we hated each other.
Really?
And it was to the point where, like, you just tell an MP to go F himself. You know what I mean?
Why?
Like,
Why?
just because it's almost like a rent-a-cop type thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's almost like, hey, we're over here defending the country and we're partying a little hard, and here you come trying to tell us to, do whatever. You want to tell us to be quiet, or you want to tell us to.
So MPs stay in the United States, like at bases, pretty much.
But they deploy too.
Oh, they do.
Well, yeah, you think about like securing a base overseas. A lot of MPs get used for that type of thing.
Okay.
You still have to enforce the rules and stuff. You know what I mean? You got a base with 10,000 different soldiers on it overseas.
Heck, yeah.
You got to have people that are enforcing rules, making
Right.
sure nobody's walking around drunk, going from tent to tent, messing with people, or, But it's just the MPs have like this, and they were really stuck up too. They were always so stuck up. So, like, for example, if I was at E5, right? So I'm a sergeant. I'm a non-commissioned officer.
Okay.
I'm like a team leader or a squad leader in an infantry line unit. So that means something. You know what I mean? And you got a private MP, and he's trying to tell you, blah, 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 blah. Do this, do that. Your natural reaction is going to be like, dude, f*** you. You know what I mean? Like, who are you to tell me like anything? It's just that natural, you outrank that person, or there's always like the rank thing always comes in. But generally, military police are hated. And that's no shade to any of you MPs out there. I mean, now I've come to a point in my life where I would never discriminate against anybody based on their job in the military.
Let me hear a story about you and an MP. You got one?
I don't have any. I got a few tickets, like just really ticky-tack speeding tickets.
What about any of your buddies, MPs?
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I believe, but see, I don't know. I believe one of my buddies beat the hell out of an MP one time, but like I said, I don't know if I can go down that road.
Yeah, but we're good.
Yeah. So, dude, well, I mean, you asked for military stories are not always nice. You know what I mean?
I want to hear them. I just don't want to hear them on the podcast right now. I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Well, it was I don't even know. I can't even remember off the top of my head now. I have to think about it. But
what about Army and civilian police?
I think Army guys have a little bit more respect for civilian police than they do MPs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. In fact,
Cool.
I know that. In fact, a lot of civilian police near military bases are prior service military.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Which gets you a long way, you know what I mean? Like, if I get pulled over by a vet, you know what I mean? He's probably going to treat me different. I'm going to treat him different, like in a good way. You know what I mean? Because you just have this
brotherhood,
mutual respect, like you're doing your job, I'm doing my job, whatever. But yeah, it's a good question though, man. It's funny. As soon as you said it, I was just like, God, we hate MP.
Yeah.
It's like, man, those dudes, I don't know. They just had this air of superiority because they had a badge and a gun. Kind of the same thing you hear about, people that dislike cops nowadays. Oh, you're just a badge and a gun. You know what I mean? Like, that was kind of how we felt about MPs. It was just like, you ain't never done nothing. You just got a badge and a gun. So now you're sitting here telling me what to do. So I think it's just a normal part of being a young man trying to rebel a little bit, especially in that setting where, like, the more macho you are, the better. The tougher you are, the better. The more I don't give a you are, the better, because that's just how we live. That's just how you have to be.
You got to be.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a great question, Badge. Freaking MPs.
MPs.
Those bastards. Speaking of law enforcement, Badge, I believe you have an interesting story or two regarding just vomit a little bit over there?
Yeah, a little bit.
Bro, I had a gnarly stomach virus the other day. I had to miss a hog hunt because of it. I was pissed.
What end?
Both.
Thanks.
Yeah. I had it butt first, then I threw up later that night, then I had butt again.
How many times did you throw up? Just once?
Like 3 or 4 times. No, it was the real deal. Like real stomach bug. So anyways, hope you don't have that. Anyways, I believe you have a story or two, and I have a story as well. about law enforcement while fishing. Some maybe some
Yeah.
interaction there. A little bit more lighthearted than what we were just talking about.
Yeah, I don't know
doing
if you remember
prison
this.
time.
There's probably a year or two where if you put cops in any title, cops
Oh,
called.
dude, on YouTube,
Viral.
YouTube fishing content.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody was trying to find a way to integrate cops called into a fishing video. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure I took a stab at it. I just can't even remember offhand. I don't remember ever getting involved with a police officer while fishing.
Yeah.
So have you? What's your story with fishing and law enforcement?
So
Wasn't Daryl, was it? No. Daryl, the retired game warden?
Yeah,
Just
for
pull up,
sure.
write you a ticket?
So I used to live I used to live in like the suburbs, but behind the suburbs was a massive plot of land.
Okay.
And we used to go fish on this plot of land. They ended up selling it to a golf course.
Well, they have a pond on there or what?
Yeah. They had
Okay.
2 ponds, four-wheeler trails, everything. It was dope.
Is that where you took me once?
On the golf course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. So I could have been in prison multiple times over then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Good.
anyways, so it felt like it was my pond. Like I grew up fishing it. Then they sold it, and then
It's like you were grandfathered in almost.
yeah,
Or you thought.
and they had like a membership where you could pay to fish, and then they banned it, and then they brought it back, and it was weird.
So it was hard. It was probably confusing to keep up with whether or not you could actually fish there.
Honestly, it wasn't at all. But that's how you get out of something right there. What I just did. That's how you fish anywhere.
Because I was like on your side. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, well, hell, you didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though you knew.
Now there's no fishing signs everywhere. So I was like, you know what? This is still my honey hole, dog.
Right.
I caught my PB out there for the first time. It was a 5-6 pounder, but it was a
Still.
big deal.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
a big deal in a man's life.
Grew up fishing out there. So anyways, I was fishing, and there was this one doctor that moved in on the golf course.
Okay.
And he was a professional douchebag.
He was the old D-hole, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're listening, man. You're
Not
a
sorry.
douchebag.
If you're listening, I hate you.
If you're listening.
What kind of a doctor was he?
I don't know. Like it wasn't like a legit. I don't think. I think he was.
It wasn't legit.
He wasn't no legit.
You must
doctor,
really
no.
not like this guy. Okay, I can't wait to hear about this.
He was probably fine. I don't know. Anyway, so he used to. I would go out there after the golf course closed, and I would fish topwater by myself.
Right.
Like
Not disturbing anybody.
No.
You're not disturbing any golfers.
I'd catch like some half pounders, a pounder, and then come across like a big one every other month. But
Yeah.
he started. So we had a golf cart. I've used it in some of the videos. My parents had a golf cart growing up, and I would cruise around on it. And he started chasing me off the course eventually. And so-
Chasing as in
like he would drive up on his golf cart, and we would have
and he'd try to run you off.
yeah.
Oh,
And so
shoot.
he would like yell at me and
What would he say?
just like get the out of here, like
Wow.
just chewing
Aggressive.
me out, cussing.
Okay.
I'm like a young dude, just
Yeah.
like
Just trying
bro.
to fish.
I could be selling drugs. I'm out here catching fish.
Yeah.
You know?
That's always so frustrating with people aggressively kicking people off ponds for fishing. It's just like, who am I hurting right now, sir?
Yeah.
What
but
am I doing that's offending you?
anyways, it continued
rich people.
to blossom into
Y'all's relationship blossomed.
dude, it was like 3 years of this.
Oh, man.
So towards the end, he starts calling the cops. And one time the cops showed up and I ran. Like I drove the golf cart through like a
Okay.
little trail and got away. That happened a couple times. And then eventually,
So, like, they showed up, like, on the golf course?
so like
or-
if you can picture, we have a pond and then there's a par 5 that wraps around it.
Okay.
And on the other side of the par 5 is a wood line and then a street. So they have a good little ways of walking.
Okay.
And
So you can
so-
see them coming a long
Yeah,
ways.
and so I could hop on the golf cart and hit like a trail in the woods that I knew because I knew the property before the golf course was put in.
Yeah.
And I would like rip across streets, jump curbs, go straight to the
Nice.
woods. It was fun, dude. It was
You had
fun.
some exits planned.
Yeah.
So you could get
No,
the hell
I
out
could
of
get
there.
out of there, dude.
Okay. I like it.
Um,
Evading the law. I like that.
Right. So I was young. I mean,
Yeah, it's
you know.
fine. I'm sure the
That's
police
everybody's-
listening, they're just like, yeah, we don't like responding to those calls either to
Yeah.
kick somebody off of a golf course for fishing.
So eventually, me and my buddy Brandon Barrington, shout out to you if you're.
Oh, let's go, Brandon.
He's not listening, but
That's-
if he did, it'd be cool.
That's twice today I snuck into Let's Go, Brandon. He didn't say
you did.
anything this time.
Yeah, this time I was just gonna let it play out.
It's all good. Okay, Brandon Boyington. What is his name?
Barrington.
Okay, I was close.
He's a cop now too. Which is kinda
Shout
funny.
out
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Brandon the Cobb. Okay.
Anyways, We're fishing, see a cop come up. I'm like, dude, screw this. I'm tired of running, dog.
Yeah.
I've been running for years. This is over.
Okay.
So, not to tell you anything more intense than your other stupid little story, but
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
He comes walking up. I'm like, all right, I'm not running. I said, hey, man, look, I've been told if I fish on this dam, there's a wood line behind me, there's no golf course, I'm not in anybody's way.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay.
And he was like, give me your rod.
No.
I swear. Didn't
Okay.
say a word, just said, give me your rod. I was like,
Okay.
okay. And so I hand him my rod, and he turns from me, walks down in the water, and makes a cast.
Yes.
I swear.
I thought that's what you were going to say, but I didn't know for sure. I thought he was either going to break it or
Yeah.
he was going to make a cast.
He just started fishing with me. He was like, dude, I hate old rich people.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Shout out to that guy.
Yeah. He was
Hopefully
like,
he's a listener.
yeah, he was like, just stay off the fairway, man. You're good.
Yeah. That's where a lot of golf courses will tell you. They won't. A lot of people, they don't even tell you not to fish anymore. They just tell you, hey, if you see golfers coming up that are going to play this in this fairway or whatever, you
Yeah.
can't be standing there because you're going to get hit with a golf ball in the face.
And then
it's
it's
going to
their
kill you.
liability, yeah.
And that's the golf course's liability. So I understand that. But you were going after hours.
I was
So
going after hours,
You're
yeah.
just ticking off one old rich guy. That's it. That's really the problem. And I'm sure, yeah, like we said, that cop is not exactly excited to respond to that call.
I will say this, like, I was in high school, and when you're in high school, you're doing stupid stuff. So,
Yeah.
like, we would take a wakeboard and a ski rope, and I would
Oh,
get in the pond
golf cart?
and golf cart ski
Oh, boy.
around.
Well, see, now you're just getting ridiculous, Badge.
That was in
No.
college, though. That was after all that.
Yeah, that was after all that.
But we would
Yeah.
swim and stuff in the summer, and, like,
This guy hated you.
yeah, this guy just sat there with binoculars,
Yeah.
like, ugh.
When y'all started wakeboarding, that really pissed him off, I'm sure.
It kind of inspired stuff to go further, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to be a massive douchebag to high schoolers,
Right. I think when you're young too, or younger, you have like less of a respect for other people's property in a way.
do.
And
You
it's
do.
not even that you're not respecting their property. It's just you haven't learned that once something belongs to somebody else, that they want it to be left alone completely.
Yeah.
Or like if you live on a golf course, you feel like you own a piece of that golf course, so you don't want to see kids out there freaking ripping around
On the fairway.
On the fairway right by your house. So I like now I'm a little bit older. I almost understand it, but I still would not call the cops on kids fishing. I'm sorry. I wouldn't do that.
You got a picture in your head, though. We were at a lake, and his house was maybe a quarter of a mile,
Yeah.
like maybe half a mile away.
Okay. But it's like visual distance, but pretty far.
Like you could, yeah, it's very far. Like
Not in
binoculars.
his backyard.
No,
right?
you couldn't hear us.
So he had to go out of his way to see you, then,
Right.
basically.
Right.
Oh, man, that's a douchebag thing to do.
Dude, I
Yeah.
wanted to so bad. I never did, but I wanted to go fish and take every fish and fill his mailbox up. Dude.
Just
I
put
wanted
a
to
bass in his mailbox
just
every
like
day.
13 one-pounders in there. He opened it, just...
That would have been epic, by the way.
I wanted to, but I never committed.
Well, see, now you just need to keep on going, and then once you become so rich and famous, you just buy that golf course and then put your houseboat in that pond. Just have it a huge eyesore. Just make a move. That's what you should do now.
Make tons of ruckus, have fishing
Yeah.
tournaments during the middle of the day.
100%. Get really chummy with like the golf course owner, and that way you can just start doing kids tournaments and stuff in the summer and just drive that guy nuts. I think you should do it.
I might have to.
I think you should. That's great. That's a good story, man. I don't think I've heard that version of it. I'm so glad the cops started fishing with you. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was
I've
super
actually
cool.
got a similar experience
Okay.
with police. Now, mine was not during fishing. It was actually right before. So this was a few years ago. This is back when I was really store vlogging it up.
Yeah,
you know what I
store
mean?
vlogging.
Probably like 2019-ish.
Okay.
It was also like the peak of like my growth, like 2019, 2020. So me and my buddy Steven, shout out to Steven and his dad, some of the coolest people I've fished with around here. I think his dad's name was Hilburn. Yeah. Steven and Hilburn. Really cool, nice people. So, in fact, you met Steven before, haven't you?
Yeah, I fished with him and his dad.
That's
Or
right.
maybe just him and
Well,
me, you, and Norm or
Yeah,
something.
I think you've met him. So anyways, he was with me that day because I think he was going to help me hold a camera and do, and just to be a bro and hang out and fish some too, but he was going to hold a camera for me. And so we're pulling up into Walmart, right, which we've done literally hundreds of times, pulled up to a Walmart with the intent of going inside and filming some type of a store vlog. So now at this point, we're parked in the back because I'm meeting Steven at Walmart. So, Walmart's got the parking rows that come way back there. So if you're meeting somebody, a lot of times you'll meet in the back. That way you can find each other easier. So I'm pulling up. I pull up next to his truck, Steven's truck.
Yep.
We both get out. We've got the camera out. We've got stuff, getting ready to go inside, getting our ideas together or whatever. And I am not kidding you. All of a sudden, 2 or 3, I can't remember. It was definitely multiple cop cars. Like make a left into the lane. Like they're up there by the store, right? By the storefront, the cops are. And they get to our lane that we're parked in the back of, and they turn on that lane, right? So now you've got 2 or 3 cop cars, and they gun it, bro. They gun it towards us. I'm not kidding. Full speed. No sirens, but full speed. And one of them comes like slamming right up in front of us. And he slams on the brakes. The other 2 like park next to us. And I'm like, oh, we're about to like, my terrible brain. I was like, Steven, what have you done? Like, have you done something illegal, bro? Because I was like, I haven't. And these cops are rolling up on us hard. And so they've got us like, pinned in with cop cars, right? Like as we're walking. And dude rolls down his window and he's like, he looks at me for a second. This is a mean looking dude, right?
Yeah.
Like he's a big dude, mean guy, got that real square jaw. It just looks like he'd just kick your teeth in.
Okay.
And he looks at me and he's like, what's up, LOJO? And I was just like, oh God, woo. And then we just start talking about fishing and everything. And he's just like, yeah, I saw y'all back there. I just wanted to scare you a little bit. I was like, dude, you did, because I was like, man, we are going down. And apparently they had been called to Walmart because they had to kick somebody out or something, which they weren't happy about. They were just like, we hate when Walmart calls. There was like some person causing a disturbance. We had to ask them to leave or whatever. They said they hate getting involved in stuff like that. That just doesn't need a police officer.
Yeah, there's no winning.
Yeah, and the person wasn't threatening anybody or anything, but like, so he pulled up and he was just, he started talking to us about fishing and YouTube and how he wanted to go fishing with us, and ended up being a really cool dude that I stayed in contact with for a while. Cool. And ended up talking to him some. But yeah, I guess I guess his cop buddies just followed him instinctually because that's just what they do. But they probably thought maybe they were about to bust somebody. But I guess when he rolled the window down and started talking to us, they kind of eased off. And they ended up pulling off, and me and him talked for like 5 minutes. But, dude, I thought we were like, it's just one of those things. Like when cops pull up on you, and this is coming from a person who does not break the law, right? I support police officers. I realize that is an incredibly difficult job. So I generally try to be nice to police officers when I talk to them because I know it's a tough job. And there's a lot of heat on cops these days. So, God, I don't know where I was going with that. I just lost my train of thought. Hold on. Wait for it.
Okay.
Andrew, you're going to have to cut this shit out. I haven't even hit pen today. Fudge.
I think you should leave this in.
Yeah?
It's kind of funny.
Dude, you ever just like be talking and you just lose your train of thought? I think my mind's just betraying me.
How long we got? We could wrap it on that.
Oh, no, hold on a second. There was something I was going to say.
You try to be nice to cops, so you were nice to this cop, or...
Damn it, what was I going to say?
Or even though you're nice to cops, it's still terrifying.
Okay, yeah. What I was going to say, thank you. You helped guide me back. See, I was just going off the rails. You helped guide me back in. I have not hit the pin today. I am as sober as a judge, I swear to God.
There you go.
Okay. You're just like, please stop talking about marijuana.
No. I actually have something to say about...
Weed?
Yeah, I got to...
Well, let me finish my thing real quick. I'm literally like 2 seconds.
Okay, yep.
No matter whether you've done anything wrong or not, it's like when you get a cop behind you on the road. It doesn't matter if you know you're not speeding. You're still nervous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you could imagine being in the back of a Walmart parking lot and 3 cops come barreling towards you. You would just immediately start thinking like, oh my God, what did I do? You know what I mean? Like what have I done in my past that's caught up on me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so all these things were flashing in my head, but he was just a fan, subscriber. Freaking awesome.
Freaking
I have a lot of police subscribers. In fact, I've met several around where I live. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like having the boys in blue on my side.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so, yeah. What were you talking about? You said
I got an email from a subscriber.
Okay. Police officer?
No, just some dude.
Okay.
And he is a supporter of weed.
Okay.
But he said he preferred it how God made it.
So natural. Straight out the ground.
Straight out the ground.
I've been thinking about that a lot, man.
He said that his sister was a nurse, and she had 2 people that had serious life-threatening, maybe even one died from that condition, or from Delta 8.
From vaping or whatever.
They said he said specifically Delta 8. It could have been vaping of some form.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that. No disrespect to the man's sister, but I've done a hell of research on Delta 8 before I ever did it. And I don't think there's a case out there of somebody dying from Delta 8.
Really?
I could be wrong. Let me just say right now, there could be a case or two, because there's always a case or two of something crazy happening. But
I don't trust them labs, dog.
well, what I was going to say was, I've been thinking about, this is so funny how we talk about this on the podcast now, but I've been thinking about switching to the real thing, just for the simple fact that I wouldn't be ingesting some type of a chemical that I'm not sure about.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, it's just, here's the deal. It's hard, man. You got to get a freaking bong, or you have to figure out how to roll a joint, which I don't do that. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. So I don't want to be that guy that's like buying a bong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, where am I going to keep it? Like, when do I smoke
I
it?
don't know.
Yeah, it's just, that ain't me.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
It
Maybe
stinks.
It's not.
You're going to smell like weed. Anytime you smoke, you're going to smell like weed. I have a beard, so if you don't know, you non-bearded folks, your beard is like, it's like a magnet for odor. You know what I mean? So if you smoke anything, it's right by your mouth. I mean, your beard's just going to smell like whatever it is you're putting in your mouth. Yeah. That's why I like the vape stuff, because it doesn't smell like anything. It's completely odorless. So it's like I can get the effects that help me with things like anxiety and stuff, but I'm not getting all the other stuff. And I'm also not baked out of my gourd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't like being baked out of my gourd. That's not why I do it, to get high, you know? So, but I have been thinking about that a lot, though. I don't like ingesting any. You know what I'm starting to get like? I'm starting to become like that old hippie dude that's just like, I don't want to ingest any chemicals.
I'm kind of like that too now, but as I drink.
I was just thinking, like, if you read these labels, you'll read some stuff that you just have no idea what it is, and it's just like, bro, that is a man-made chemical put in whatever drink to do something, you know, to keep it, to preserve it, to give it a certain color. And these are just like man-made things. So it's just one of them. I'm trying to cut down on the amount of chemicals I'm putting in my body, but it's hard to do because everything has something in it.
I want to cut down on caffeine, dude.
Dude, it's been helpful for me. When I had that kidney stone, I mean, that was that like switched a lot of my habits. But caffeine is one of those things I've really drawn down.
I've been crutching hard past week, especially, dude. I just haven't been sleeping a lot, but hopefully when I get the camera guy up and going.
Yeah, you've got external factors. You've got a lot of life stressors happening. So it's probably not just the caffeine that's bothering you, or a lack of caffeine. You just got life hitting you right now. So in about a month from now, you'll probably feel a hell of a lot better than you do right now.
Yeah.
So you just got to hang in there, man, and freaking keep ripping. But yeah, dude, I'm with you, man. Caffeine, nicotine. I hardly ever ingest nicotine anymore. In fact, today was one of the first times I've had that Black Buffalo. Now, it's tobacco-free. It still has nicotine, but they have that zero form as well that doesn't have nicotine either. So I probably need to switch to that, honestly.
I just want to get to the point where, like, the reason I've been trying to drink less alcohol, the reason I don't smoke, the reason I don't do all that thing is all those things is not because I think they're bad. I just want to be the best version of myself I can be.
Dude, totally.
And to accomplish all the goals that I've set for myself. Yeah. Like, I just don't have time to take life itself just knocks me down a few percent.
Right. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just want to be the best version of myself I can.
Yeah, you're not alone, bro. I'm telling you, man. That's what this whole journey for me, it wasn't about weight loss or anything. It was literally just about, man, I just want to be healthier. I want to feel better, man.
You seem better to be around. Like, you're more positive.
I feel better.
I'm in the worst shape of my life right now. I genuinely am.
Like, me and you literally swapped places in 3 months.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to denigrate you because I know exactly what you're going through right now. And you cannot commit yourself to everything at one time. You can't commit all of yourself to being in the best shape, being dialed into your career, being the best husband. You can't do all those things at one time, bro. No. I feel you. So you got to pick your battles. And right now, your main battle is YouTube, getting the machine up and running, getting this houseboat in freaking boatable shape for your YouTube channel. You can't give your body the time you need. You know, even I can. I'm less involved than you are with boat projects at the moment. Although I got one cooking too, but you know, so I feel you, bro. But it's just one of them things. You'll come back around. We've talked about this before. It's not. You're young enough. You got plenty of freaking time.
Yeah.
You're not like massively overweight or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's literally 2 months. I feel like I could be in a lot better shape if I tried for 2 months.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
No doubt about it.
it's all good.
Yeah. Any other police stories? Because I really want to dive back into this because you're right. There was a time on YouTube where I can think of a few channels just off the rip that had like million view videos just because there was like some type of a cop element found. In fact, I think one of the first ones I saw was old Fanatic. Remember our boy Fanatic?
Yeah.
I don't know if have you ever met him?
I've never met Fanatic.
He's a cool guy. He's very young, very cool guy, bright kid.
Cool.
Really good guy.
Should get him on.
Yeah, we should. We need to get some more diverse guests on this year. I think we pounded kind of like our buddies and the Guggen Squad guys, which we could still get those guys on any time. But I'd like to this year really diversify our guest portfolio. And I actually have a list of names in there that some of them are going to be really tough to get just because I don't know if they'll come on or not.
Yeah.
But I'm going to reach out to certain people that are not working for Guggen. Let's put it that way.
Cool.
But anyways, we'll get to that when it comes. But yeah, but anyways, Fanatic, I think, was one of the first guys I saw. He had, the title of the video was like, found human remains while fishing or something like that. You remember that?
Oh, yeah,
And the thumbnail was just like a screenshot from a chesty or something where he had like was pulling open a bag of bones or something. You remember that? He was just bank fishing or something like South Florida, or maybe he was in Texas actually. And yeah, he just found literally found a bag of human remains or something. I can't remember the story, but there was literally human remains.
Oh, real? It was real?
I think so. Oof. I believe it was real.
Wow.
I mean, it got millions, though, because the cops came up and they had to, like, bag it and freaking classify it and figure out what the hell it came from. And it was, like, down by the bank of a river or something or a lake, or it had washed up ashore. It was super sketchy.
That sounds like some Miami stuff for sure.
Unless our boy Fanatic just went and capped somebody.
Yeah,
and
my
just
boy.
planted some bones.
Yeah.
That's how you get them views, baby.
Yeah, we need to get this man on quick.
Hey, did you kill that guy that you found? Just start off with it. Hey, so those bones that you found, how'd you kill that guy? And just stare at him. What, should we not ask that? Is it too hard?
Oh, I think we should. You know, the most recent cop video, I would like to say, involves a game warden and your boy smoking some doves.
Oh, dude, I was thinking about that earlier when we were talking about cops and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Bads did get a ticket the first time he ever went hunting with me.
Yeah,
that I was incredibly embarrassed about.
First big whiplash we got on the internet because there was a lot of people that were disappointed in us.
Yeah, and I think we admitted guilt.
Oh, we already
away,
handled
so yeah,
that
we don't
situation.
have to. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm one of those people. I truly believe if you do something wrong, as long as it's not like a violent thing, and you just say, hey, like if you're genuinely, hey, we messed up, sorry.
Yep.
I just think like it should be done right there.
Yeah.
And unless it's, like I said, something really serious. But we paid the ticket.
Yep.
That's what the state of Alabama requires. We paid it. So according to the state of Alabama, we're good.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But yeah, that's so funny though, that first time. And we were trying to get you a license. Let's not gloss over that. We were literally trying for like 30 minutes to get you a license on the spot before we ever fired a shot. We weren't able to do so. It was my fault. I told you to shoot. I said, just forget about it.
One thing people will never realize is this is our job. So it's like,
Yeah.
Like when people go to dig a pond or something for somebody and they're like, oh, wait, the third permit of the water. And they're like, you know what? Screw it. Just do it.
Right.
You know, because they're like, we got to get paid.
We got to get
like
get
for
this
us,
done.
it was like, all right, we're here. We got to work. We got to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
So,
it's like you had traveled across different
not
state
saying
lines.
it's right. We were trying to get a
No.
license. We'll never do it again. But yeah, there's an element to this that nobody will understand unless they're doing this for a living.
Have you ever, what about game wardens? You ever had any you ever been stopped for a fishing license by game wardens? Like while on a body of water?
I've been stopped once or twice while I was taking out.
Taken out. Okay, so they're checking live wells and stuff, like limit type stuff?
Yes. I've also, have you ever...
I've been stopped on the water twice.
Have you ever dodged, have you ever seen a game warden and dodged
I never see them coming. I'm always fishing.
Okay, really?
Because I'm not like breaking the law. So, I don't care. I never keep fish on the lake. I've never once kept, besides transferring a bass from public water to private water while in compliance with the law, I've never went out and caught 20 crappies or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about limits because I never keep fish. But I've had the game wardens roll up on me twice. on Lake Eufaula. No, it wasn't. One on Lake Eufaula, one on Pickwick, I think, with Mikey Balls.
Nice.
Which was one of the funniest interactions with game wardens of all time.
Why?
He pulled up. He was okay. Like, he wasn't rude or anything. In fact, both of the guys weren't bad. But I'm trying to remember. There was some kind of type of confusion. Like, we were in Alabama, right?
Okay.
Which I had a Florida driver's license back then.
Okay.
So I maintained my Florida residency way longer than I should have.
Yeah, you had that like till last
Years.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Last week. I don't know why it took me so long to update it. I know you're supposed to. But I didn't. Whatever. But so I had a Florida driver's license, but I had an in-state Alabama fishing license.
Yeah.
You see? So he asked me for my ID and my fishing license. So I give him a Florida ID, but then I have an in-state resident fishing license. So he was right off the rip. He was just like, so if you have a Florida driver's license, why do you have an in-state? And I'm just like, well, I was in Florida for a long time. Now I'm living in Alabama currently, but I haven't updated my driver's license. And he just went back to the original problem. He just kind of like repeated it. And then I was just like, and I repeated myself again. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I just haven't updated my license yet. And then Mikey kind of comes in and he was just like, he's just like, oh, man, you've confused the hell out of this guy. Like, kind of in my ear. I was just like, yeah, I know. I hope he doesn't write me a ticket. Because he was just, I don't know why he was so confused. Like, that was my whole thing. It's like, I kind of explained myself. So why are we still talking about this?
Yeah.
You know my whole thing with law enforcement. Like, I support law enforcement. That's what I do. But I'm also a tax-paying citizen of the United States. So if I have my license and I'm legal, it's like my thing is, hey, you need to go on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at this point, I've proven to you that I am, in fact, following the law that you have jurisdiction over.
Right.
So now, like, the conversation's over. You know what I mean? That's kind of how and I'm not going to be a dick about it or anything. But in that situation, I was just kind of like, all right, well, I'm done talking about this because I've already explained it.
Yeah.
Like, if he was like a highway patrolman or something, he could have been like, well, why do you shouldn't have a Florida driver's license anymore. You live in Alabama. I'm giving you a ticket. But I don't think, can game wardens give tickets on stuff like that?
No, that's
I
not
don't
their
think so.
jurisdiction or whatever.
Yeah, jurisdiction. Yeah. You said it perfect.
Thank you.
You got to hit the D hard.
Always
Jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the other time I was on my micro boat, which you have now, it's currently underneath a tree in your yard that you're just going to let die under that tree.
Oh, I'm fixing it this week.
Poor girl. You going to chainsaw her out of there?
Yeah,
Save her?
my chainsaw is getting out of the shop yesterday.
Oh, chainsaw's in the shop.
Yep.
Do you have any tools and boats that are not in the shop? Asking for a friend. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. We're at the end of the podcast, so.
Yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. It's fine.
Dude, but the second interaction was so funny. It was on the SS Minnow Johnson, the micro boat with the little electric trolling motor knob thing. So I'm like in the middle of Eufaula fishing on this raft, basically, and he comes freaking scooting up. And he's just like, oh, that's a cool little boat. I was like, yeah, man, thanks. And then he comes up asking for my license or whatever, so I give it to him. He keeps talking about the boat. He was really like taken aback by the boat. And I was like, yeah, I really like it because I don't have to register it, because it doesn't have an outboard motor. It doesn't go fast enough. And he was like, well, actually, it's got an electric motor on it, so you're supposed to register it. And I was like, oh. And he was just like, well, how long have you had it? And I just completely lied. And I was like, oh, like a month or something. And he was like, okay, well, that's fine. Just register it. And I was like, oh, yeah, I've had it for 2 years, actually.
But they make it hard as frick to register boats,
dude. I didn't freaking know. I get it. Oh, you should look up the law. Look, man, if I spend every day of my life reading the laws and how fast they change from year to year, I mean, it's like it'll give you a freaking headache. It'll make your head explode.
Dude, I've tried to register 2 or 3 of my boats online, and they're all pending for over 60 days.
Why?
But I don't know.
And what are you supposed to do in that time?
I don't know. I've uploaded pictures. They give you like a momentary registration
like a temporary thing.
Yeah, and like the stickers you can put on there. But like, I'm pretty sure they already ended though. I'm pretty sure that was 3 months ago, and I had 60 days while it was pending. I uploaded pictures of the bill of sale.
Yeah.
I uploaded pictures of the title.
Yeah. It's like, dude, what am I supposed to do? It's like,
yeah, well, you want me to drag 5 boats to the
DMV
county
or whatever? Or the freaking.
You want me to just show up with the arsenal of boats so you can come analyze my boats?
I will agree with you, man. It's a lot harder than it should be. I think You just buy one license. You know
I
what
paid
I mean?
for each one of those applications, like $30-something or something.
Oh, you got to pay for the application.
Yeah, so that's
Damn.
like $150 down the drain.
Yeah, I think most people would agree that some of these laws and like licenses that you have to get, and every state is different, which is just a freaking. We live in the tri-state area, so especially me, like I'm 30 minutes from Florida, 20 minutes from Georgia, and I live in Alabama. So now I have to know the laws of 3 different states just in case I cross the state line and throw a hook in the water.
Yep.
It's like, it is very frustrating, and, I wish it was simpler. I get it. These things are not simple, but we don't write the laws, Badge. Thank God. I hope I'm never a freaking lawmaker.
Yeah, I'm not
because these
gonna do
people
that.
they have to have some screws loose with some of these laws. So
Yeah, I got
Did you hear they changed turkey season this year?
In Alabama.
In Alabama, they're freaking us hard.
I heard there was a new biologist that just
There's a new scientist.
he knows how stuff should be, I guess.
He's really dialed in with the turkeys. He's
Yeah.
been spending a lot of time with turkeys, talking to them, so he knows.
Yeah, he's
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much you guys care about turkey season, but they basically squigged us big time.
yeah, he can shoot like one baby this year, that's it.
One immature turkey.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah, dude. It's like, first of all, they backed the season way up, like by 2 weeks. And they made it to where you couldn't hunt with decoys the first 2 weeks. So your actual time with hunting with decoys is only like a couple weeks now.
Yep.
It's very short. And then you can it's like a breeding thing. It makes no sense. We could break that whole thing down, but suffice it to say that these laws are just, I'm sorry, that this one is just stupid.
It's stupid. Everybody has agreed that the main problem is people don't trap rodents enough.
Yeah.
You got armadillos, raccoons, not armadillos, possums maybe, but definitely raccoons and Yotes are just murking. And
Turkeys?
Yeah, and
So
nobody.
we need to kill more of those things.
Nobody wants to trap raccoons or kill coyotes because it's just not like a thrill like killing a turkey is.
Right.
But you got to do it if you want to have turkeys.
That's interesting. I haven't really heard about that.
Yeah, do some
But
research, dude. They wipe
makes
them
sense.
out. They kill them.
Like the babies.
Yeah,
I know the baby turkeys have a ton of natural predators, so that doesn't surprise me.
yeah.
But damn, raccoons be getting them like that?
Dude, yeah. Raccoons, I think, are the worst.
I just popped one the other day in my trap. So
Yep, you got to. You got to do it if you
I'm
want to
doing
have
my
good
part.
property.
I've popped a possum and a raccoon in my trap so far.
I want to say my father-in-law has done like 15
coons
like
or
different
just varmints or
varmints. Yeah,
whatever you want to call them. Yeah, well, it's open season on those jokers year round. So, well, yeah, there you go. Turkey hunting has been ruined by scientists, but we'll still get it done though this year.
That's right.
Got that property across the street now. Doing some burning, getting ready for turkey season. It's going to be on. You going to come turkey hunting with us at least one time?
Yeah, we'll do a podcast. I'll get up, come down, turkey hunt a couple hours, then part our little hearts out.
Yeah, hell yeah. We'll definitely do that. Well, I do believe we're out of time, folks. I don't think we got anything else to say. But if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out me and Badge's channels if you want to see what we're up to these days with our boat projects and other fishing endeavors.
Yep.
Make sure you leave us a 5-star review if you're listening to us. Make sure you follow us, all that good stuff, guys. Tell your friends about the podcast. Spread the word. Let's grow this guy this year. Let's keep the Banger podcast off our tail. Because if they catch us, then we're going to have to do something.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go political route, eh?
Yeah, we just have to start hitting some Ukraine news. Oh, Rob over there on
What
Speak
a
the
freight
Truth is
train
killing
over there,
it.
huh? Yeah.
Killing it over there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we don't have the knowledge, man. We're just a couple of guys.
Right.
Yeah. But we love you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We out.
See ya.